Hey, good morning. I illustrated these books, put these books together on Amazon, and it's very easy. I have an editor on Fiverr, Fiverr. So I'd encourage you to publish any works that you did during the quarantine, and it's fun to pass them out. I've passed out Psalm sketchbook, and I like Ruth and Esther sketchbook. I did every word of Ruth, so I thought I'd read that today. And then Ruth and Esther sketchbook, illustrated by Jill Mockingbird, Esther 4:14. It could be that you were made for such a time as this. So this was in March 2022. Hello, it is a good day, and God has a good plan for you. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. That's true. Even though there is war and strife and financial problems, we can always look to God for his peace. He knows you. He knows how many hairs you have on your head. Draw your head with hair or no hair, if you're bald, I guess, or actually going through cancer treatment. So just draw your head with hair or no hair. God loves you anyway. In Luke 12, it says, you are worth more than many sparrows. He doesn't forget them, and he won't forget you. So draw some birds or some flowers. He says he takes care of the flowers, and he'll take care of you. God provides. Ruth and Esther were important women in history who trusted God and followed his lead and direction. They were very different. Ruth was a gleaner who picked up after leftover crops. Here's Ruth, a farmer. Where you go, I will go, as she's famous for saying. Esther was a beautiful queen who loved her people. Queen Esther was queen for such a time as this. God be with you and also the world as we look to him and his direction. Draw a picture of you. I have medium length hair. So it says, if you like Ruth's sketchbook, you also like Paul, John, Mark, Genesis. And you can watch me on YouTube, which you're doing right now. So I'm hoping to get 15 books out. I have Nehemiah, Noah, Gideon, and finish up Old Testament. Ruth 1:1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled. That's a hard word. Judges ruled. In the days when the judges ruled, that there was a famine in the land. There was no food. There's famine in the land. Uh-oh. What are we going to do? We're hungry. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to dwell in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. The name of the man was Elimelech. The name of his wife was Naomi, and the name of his 2 sons were Mahlon and Chilion. I'm not sure how to say that. Chilion? So from Bethlehem, Judah, Chilion, Mahlon, Naomi, and Elimelech went to Moab. They were Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah. So that was the name of their group, I guess. Ephrathites of Bethlehem. They were Jewish, I believe. And they went to the country of Moab and remained there. So there they are, settling in the land of Moab. So I usually do an old verse, maybe not King James, but New King James. I forget what I use. And then I try to draw a picture and write a simple verse as well. It really helps me to process and learn the Bible. And for you, I would recommend drawing the Bible too, maybe even before looking at my pictures or stick figures. Then Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left. And Elimelech died, and Naomi was left, and her 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion. Now they took wives of the women of Moab. The name of the one was Orpah, and the name of the other was Ruth. Naomi's sons get married. One son marries Orpah, and a little trivia is that Oprah Winfrey's birth certificate was spelled wrong. It was supposed to be Orpah, but it's Oprah, O-P-R-A-H, which I kind of like Oprah. the name Oprah. No offense, Oprah. The other son married Ruth. And they dwelt there for about 10 years. The house of Chilion, the house of Mahlon, 10 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then both Mahlon and Chilion also died. Mahlon and Chilion died. So the woman survived her 2 sons and her husband. So Naomi survived. And Naomi is very sad. So these dates right here, it may be 1000 BC, 1015 BC. I'm not sure. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law that she might return from the country of Moab. So she got up and went back to Moab with her daughters-in-law. Went from Moab to Judah. For she had heard in the country of Moab that the Lord had visited his people by giving them bread. So God was giving people bread in Judah, I believe, right? So she's heading towards Judah because there's bread there. Therefore she went out from the place where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law with her, and they went on the way to return to the land of Judah. And Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go, return each to her mother's house." Naomi says, "Go, Orpah and Naomi, go. Orpah and Ruth, go back to your mother's house." Orpah goes to her mother's house, and Ruth goes to her mother's house. And we should have a little mother drawing right there. The Lord deal kindly with you. May he give you kindness. As you have dealt with the dead and with me, you have given me and my husband and sons kindness, so may God give you kindness. The Lord grant that you may find rest, each in the house of her husband. May you each find rest with a new husband. So she kissed them. And they lifted up their voices and wept. Oh no. Women are so beautiful and so emotional. And they said to her, "Surely we will return with you to your people. We'll go with you." Ruth and Oprah, we'll go with Naomi. Naomi said, "Turn back, my daughters. Why will you go with me? Why will you come with me? Turn back. Go. Are there still sons in my womb, that they may be your husbands? Am I pregnant with sons that could be husbands for you? No. Turn back, my daughters. Go. Go, leave, Ruth, Oprah. Come on, for I am too old to have a husband." How old is Naomi? She's 50 years old, 60, 70, I don't know. That's one thing I hope to find out one day. If I should say I have hope, Naomi says, "There's hope. There's hope for you. If I should have a husband tonight, this very day, tonight, I may have a husband and should also bear sons, and I'll have twins or 2 brothers. Would you wait for them till they're grown? Maybe a baby, 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old. So are you going to wait 20 years old to marry my sons that I might have tonight? Would you restrain yourselves from having husbands? Would you stop from having husbands and their hands are behind their backs? Why stop from having husbands? No, my daughter, for it grieves me very much for your sakes that the hand of the Lord has gone against me. I'm sad for you that the Lord's hand is against me. God is against Naomi." Then they lifted up their voices and wept again. I love you. I don't want to leave you. And Orpah kissed her mother-in-law. Orpah leaves Naomi. But Ruth clung to her. Ruth held on to Naomi. So Orpah leaves. Ruth stays with Naomi. And I don't think anybody looks down on Orpah for leaving, because I think she's mentioned later on in the Bible. I think there's some land or something that's named after her. Orpah. So Naomi, she said, look, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and to her gods. Return after your sister-in-law. Go with your sister-in-law back to your people and your gods. Orpah's going back to Moab, her people, and the fake gods that they worship. Ruth, you should go back. But Ruth said, don't make me leave you. Entreat me not to leave you or to turn back from following after you. For whither you go, I will go. Wherever you go, I will go. So this is these are famous verses. They were said at my mom's wedding. I think a song. They were said at our wedding. As if it's a man and a woman, but it's actually a daughter-in-law and sister-in-law. Daughter-in-law and mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is very sweet as well. This is for her. Whither you go, I will go, and wherever you lodge, I will lodge. So these drawings are the first time I drew through the Bible. And then all these I wanted added later on to explain them to you. But these are original drawings. Your people shall be my people. Moabites and Israelites will be my people. Judah, Ephrathites. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and I will be buried there with you. The Lord do so to me, and more also. May the Lord punish me, if anything but death parts you and me. Naomi and Ruth, they're inseparable. Only death can separate them. So Ruth wants to stay with Naomi. When she saw that she was determined to go with her, I'm staying with you, says Ruth. So Naomi sees that. So I draw a lot of these pictures, and I wanted to include both of them and just have you can always circle it, whichever one you like best. Circle which one you like better. I just thought I'd share both of them with you. So when she saw that she was determined to go with her, she stopped speaking to her. So she stopped arguing, stopped urging Ruth to leave. Okay, I'll stop, Naomi. You can come with me. Now the two of them went until they came to Bethlehem. From Moab to Bethlehem, Ruth and mother-in-law Naomi. And it happened when they had come to Bethlehem that all the city was excited because of them. So everybody's coming out from Bethlehem. Naomi's here. They were excited about Naomi and Ruth. And the women said, is this Naomi? Who is this? She must look a lot different. But she said to them, do not call me Naomi, call me Mara. Mara means bitter, I believe. Call me Mara, don't call me Naomi, for the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me. God has shown bitterness to Naomi. Bitter things are coffee, beer. They're hard to swallow. They taste terrible. So God has dealt bitterly with Naomi. So we have about 1 or 2 more pages. I went out full. I came from Bethlehem. I was full, like a full glass of water. Naomi and her family came out to Moab. And the Lord has brought me home again, empty. Back to Bethlehem from Moab. Just Naomi and Ruth coming back empty, nothing there. So she went out full and happy, came back empty and sad. But she has Ruth, just Naomi and Ruth. Don't forget Ruth. Why do you call me Naomi, since the Lord has testified against me? Why call me Naomi when God has caused me to suffer so much? So this looks like God is hitting Naomi, but I'm trying to show God's hand is against Naomi. So she's very bitter and sad. So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, with her, who returned from the country of Moab. Naomi and Ruth traveled 7 to 10 days on foot. I think I Googled that and looked it up. So they'd walk back to Bethlehem. Now they came to Bethlehem at the beginning of barley harvest. So that's kind of a grain. There's wheat, barley, grain. Wheat and barley, grain, what else? Kind of oats. This is the beginning of harvest time. They're all going to take their sickles and pick up the crop, the harvest. There was a relative of Naomi's husband, a man of great wealth of the family of Elimelech. His name was Boaz. So they did have a rich relative named Boaz. And rich relative of Elimelech, which was Naomi's husband. So let's continue this later.